Well, check out what's good. Shoot. What's happening, y'all? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing, man? How you doing, man? And I'm back. Oh my God, the chat is popping already. Drewies, what up? Thanks, Woodchuck. I appreciate that, man. I saw you got your back right, Wes. What's up, Wood? That's right, Druid. Wait, what happened? Look at you getting all set up. I am getting set up, man. I am getting set up, man. It's good to see y'all in here, man. Every time I get the family in the chat, I'm excited. Alright, so set that right there. Got to plug in my laptop. I smacked my other phone on the concrete today, and it is no longer with me, so I've got my main phone, which is, you know, constantly ringing. And now I've got my laptop to monitor. Hey, Drewies, good to see you there, man. First time out here, kicking it with the broskies. Yeah, RIP to that second phone. Let's look, this thing. This thing. Ugh, it got all the smoke. Ugh, terrible. Terrible. It's James, wait, who's that? Charles Barkley would say? That's terrible. That's the most terrible thing I ever see. If it was me and that was my phone, that'd be terrible. Terrible thing. Alright. See what we're doing in here. I don't think I need this table for what we're doing. I do need the table saw for what we're doing. So let's break some of this down. Go put my beverages in my skeeter-proof containment and confinement unit over here. They stole this design from me in Ghostbusters. See what I'm saying? I did that first. I was capturing spirits way back when, like way back before Ghostbusters was going on. And then I was keeping them in this confinement box right there. I should not be doing this much sugar right now. Y'all already hear me sniffling, but I need this caffeine right now. If you were in my last live, you saw me doing this. Ugh. Huh? Who else is doing this? Ugh. All right, anyway. enough of me publicly touching myself. Yo, Drewies that came up in here and showed out with the 5 bizons in the super chat. All right. Yo, I'm definitely a family man. Yeah, for sure. Ruiz came through on the super chat like a champ. Crazy. Let me see. You're probably one of the coolest dudes I know on the YouTube. No joke. Bro, yeah, just your mannerisms and how you hold yourself. I guess something about you, bro. Oh, man, that's all right. Okay, Chuck, how about them women down in San Antonio? Woo-woo. How's the ladies down here? Down here? Good enough for me to trick one into marrying me, so, you know, one of them was good. I can't tell you about the rest. They might have varying opinions about me. But thank you so much, Talado. That's such a sweet thing to say. I get very embarrassed by compliments, so I apologize. I don't always acknowledge them, y'all. It's not because I'm an arrogant jerk. I am an arrogant jerk, but that's not why that's happening. It's happening. I get a little bit embarrassed by compliments. Man, Ruiz then showed out on the super chat. That's so cool. Look at this dude. That's so crazy. Don't respond, Wes. That's his wife. This one. Oh, okay. Thank you for having me, my boy. Oh, man, for sure. Thanks for coming through. That's what's up. Workbench tour. Oh, yeah, we can definitely do a workbench tour in here. Which one? It's wild in here on this side of the shop. But we sure certainly can do it. Let me put a couple things in a couple places. Whilst I put stuff together. Which bench? We're talking about this one that I'm sitting on? Woodchucker. Workbench looks newish. Which one? Just cause for the vibes. This dude is showing off. I didn't even know you rap, man. And you in here spitting bars? I need to beatbox for you. The other one. This one. Or this one. Or this one. Or this one, or this one, or that one. Ruiz is showing out. If you're gonna super chat this much, you might as well mail a check so he gets all the YouTube. No, I need it. You know, YouTube puts like $100 in the tank before you can actually really get to money. Like they have to put it in like a little. You have to generate $100 first, and I'm on like 25. So Ruiz is doing the thing. So he gonna help me get to some bread, cause I love y'all guys. Sorry, not sorry. That dude is the man. The fourth one. Okay. I'll go over all of them. None of them are newish. I did move this one. This is my I had to do some automotive stuff in here the other day, and I had to do it here. This bench is my miter saw station, and this is really simple stuff here. All of these benches, actually, those two as well, kind of basically the same construction. It's 2x4 frame style construction there. So all of these benches I can walk around on, because all of them are essentially built for it. And they're also on wheels. And this one is the router table. Of course, I got the litter box bucket underneath there to catch the excess that the jig doesn't catch. I do have a jig for it. Let me move this stuff off real quick. The sound of the shop. It's the sound of the shop. It's a lot of good wood clacking. All right. I hang it up here on a nail because I'm sophisticated. Little, you might like this cheapo clamp setup, right? Pop those in. You get 4 sets of those on Temu for like $3. You pop the other one on here. Bam. I got my line set there. And that's where my router comes up through. And if you're a hip hop fan, you know what that's about. And then this is the port for my dust collection. Works really good, that dust collection. Sounds good. Same, Wes, I got your 6, dog. You family now, just saying, oh, snap, did you give me some more money? You all right, Ruiz? He said, can I just call you D? That's cool. That's a strong, I think, but the one on your laptop is on. Yeah, this is my, also, same construction, but yeah, of course I had to do a bunch of cutouts on this one. Let me move stuff off of it. I need to figure out how to not do this. Every time I get flat space, I put on top, always. And I got places for this stuff. All right. So, this is the only sled I have to this thing. I need to build a bigger one because I just do. But this thing does really good on short stock. And little pro trick, I don't know where I got this from, but you put a little sandpaper right there, nothing slipped, ever. You slide through whatever's on there, it's on there. You can put it at an angle, it's on there. And I just scribed in a 45. If I put something on there and it crosses over that paper, I got a perfect 45. I don't even have to worry about it. Anyway, this is a Hitachi. This was my job saw for a couple of years. Y'all know I'm a remodel contractor, so I didn't buy any of these power tools for the workshop. I just had them and kind of built these tables and things around them. Once I got into cabinet making, I did that for a couple of years. Well, a couple of years, like 15. As I remodel, I built my own cabinets and stuff like that. Anyways, so I got these cutouts here so that I can keep my same guides. And the reason I bought this thing when I bought it is because it had the longest rip on the market at the time in a portable table saw. This one I can get a 38-inch from the blade to this fence, and I can get 38 inches on that, so it's great. Like, none of them come with a good way of putting the material on or taking it off, so that's why I made all these benches the same height. If I absolutely need to, I have something particularly long, I can put it on here, pop that off, slide it straight across, and I've got an extra 4 feet in front if I want it, or behind, and I got an extra 4 feet or 5 if I turn the table the other way behind it. I pulled the wiring and put my on and off right there, knee height, so I can keep myself safe, because these scare me. That's how I lost that piece of digit on one of these. And not much storage under there because that table takes up most of it. But that's the dust collection. I just put a hose on there from the wet vac. And that's it. Yeah, there are shavings everywhere. Yeah, I'm a professional contractor. That's what I've been doing for the last 30 years. Beautiful bills, bro. Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Ruiz, are you still super chatting me? I'm missing. Oh, man. That's what's up. For the family, always been family big. Love. No didn't. Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That's good business right there. My God. I'll tell you, when my wife and I went to Thailand 2 years ago, it was so amazing. And every temple we went by, like literally everyone they passed by, they stopped and put money in the box, like everyone. And I thought that was so wild. Like, Americans complain about tipping. Thai people, all the ones that I was around anyway, it was like almost like a competition of generosity. It was so bizarre but so sweet at the same time. It was wild. Let's see, what are we saying? Love Thailand. Cosmic Experiences. Hi, what's going on? Hey, Cosmic. Yeah, that's the shoulder bag that I carry around. I don't know if it's in the shop now, but generally when I'm walking around, I've got a shoulder bag that I carry that I got in Thailand. It was a gift to me there, and it's great. It's so great. But I've got power strips on all of these benches so that I can plug other stuff in them while I'm working on them, or working near them. Or if I want them out of the way, I can just kick them in the corners. But I don't think I need... Oh, I do need the router for this. Yeah. Okay, so let's set up the router, because I'm going to have to take some of this stock and do roundovers on the edges. And then I'm going to rip it in half, and then I'm going to do something similar in nature to this kind of thing. Except I'm going to do sort of a recline version. You know? Sorry for all this junk. There's always a junk side, even when it's clean over here. There's a junk side. Woodchucker says, hey, be respectful. You're not gonna get Wes going. Don't worry about taking off the comments, guys. He'll let you know, right, Wes? Yeah, it means nothing to me. I don't know if somebody's been saying stuff. What is the best thing you've made and been the most proud of, Wes, personally? Aside from these kids, who are the best kids in the world, I don't know. I have a weird thing about creative things for me. It's like, while I'm doing it, I absolutely love it, and I hate it because I'm afraid that I'm going to ruin it. The entire time I'm doing something creative, I'm afraid I'm going to ruin it, and I'm experiencing a certain amount of anxiety while I'm also experiencing a certain amount of bliss in the making, right? And after that, I'm in love with it a little bit if it's successful. The closer it is to how I envisioned it in the beginning, that more in love with it I am. And then I'm in love with the next idea. And that's that. Like, I helped my neighbor change a tire a couple of days ago. He was just broken down. I don't know him, but he was in my neighborhood, and his van, the tire, he had one of those scissor jacks, and it was like laying down. And like 2 years ago, I bought that Pittsburgh jack at Harbor Freight, and I got it on a deal, and I only had 2 days to get that deal, and I got that deal, and I was so proud that I had gotten it. And I've used it a ton since then. But when that guy broke down and I was able to pull over and was like, yo, I got a way better jack than that. We could get your car up right now. And we did it, and we got him up and going, and I changed the tire, and that was hilarious to me. And that was like my favorite thing. I enjoyed that moment more than all of this build. I really enjoy a build the most when I can give it to somebody. When I was an artist, I never sold a painting, I never sold a sculpture, nothing. I'd do it, and then I'd sit it in my living room, and if somebody liked it, and I was like, you like that? And if they're like, yeah, it's beautiful, I go, huh, you can have it. And I give it away. Never sold a piece of art in my life. I've illustrated some books, and I've done some photography, and I've gotten paid for that, but you know, I'm a weird guy. Every now and then I'll just swap careers every now and then. You gotta keep up. Wes is pretty relaxed. He likes to play with them. Let's see what's happening. Oh, Caleb and I ironing out how to mod Wes's chat in the way you prefer. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe somebody was in there acting up. Oh, I get a lot of racism though. But I was born in 1973 in High Point, North Carolina. Like, so I have encountered the worst of the worst, and I've not lost a fight yet. Not a single one. Not yet. Not a single one. So I don't ever fear somebody who's talking. You know what I'm saying? Let alone somebody who's typing. Like, if you were typing insults, come on. Typing. It's so crazy. Oh man, I'm gonna hurt this guy's feelings. Dad's Workshop, you're good, bro. Good place to work on a moderator. I do the same. Great mentality to have, says Heather. This is just truth. Dad's Workshop. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't want to affect this numbers by stopping that engagement. I also, now, I will say this to Calvin. I still like the vibe to be the vibe, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we troll the trolls sometimes. Like, here's the thing about somebody who's on the internet typing insults. I've never met an intelligent guy that said, hey man, what do you like to do? And he said, get on the internet and call people N-words. Like, so, that's just a fact. So beyond that, here's what also happens. They're not that smart. So it's easy. It's child's play to emotionally toy with them or to tease them or insult them, or like, because they're not clever enough to keep up with you. So, you know, you just get them back and make their chest hurt and their blood boil and they'll be warm inside and they'll go back to their Dungeons and Dragons, and that'll be that. All right, I'm supposed to be building stuff over here. Let me get my camera set up here. As long as I'm holding this thing, I'm not going to be building anything. I do know that about me. I'm going to be set up for this table. I'm going to get rid of this one. Get rid of this lid. Pop it hither. Make some space. So we are going to use this, so we are going to go ahead and pull it. We're going to go ahead and pull that out. Porter cable is lightning fast, isn't it? Just turn that screw 157 times and voila. Action, Jackson. Oh, another $2. Let's go, Drewies. He must have felt guilty that I have to use this second-hand router. He's like, let me help the guy out. Let me help the kid out. He's a good kid. But genuinely and sincerely, shout outs to you, dog. I appreciate your support. That's awesome. Ruiz is fighting a good fight. For real though. What am I up to now? I'm getting ready to take this bit out and I'm going to put in a bit that I can do a roundover with in this router table. Pop my sled on, lock it down, send these boards over here through it, split them in half over there, and then I'm going to build a freaking chair to rest in after I'm done with all this nonsense. That is what we're up to. Other than that. I'm going to find another crescent wrench because this is what happens when you get your router table from estate sale. First off, you get it for like $20, but it's not without its own challenges. Guess I can just take it out. All right, let's do that. Wes's Janky Garage Shop, exposed next on TMZ. And y'all be seeing footage of me on the beach with my suspenders hanging off my shoulder. Oh my God, that's falling off. And that's how we mount our custom router table. Because I broke the thing is what happened, is I broke the button that does the thing to stop the thing. So that can be a ruffian, an unnecessary ruffian. There we go. The crowd goes wild. Alright, we're gonna get something that does a round thing. Had these bits a while. Haven't used them much. And got another set up here. That's not it. That's not it. That's not going to do that. That's another. Yep. All those are for cabinets. Mostly shakers, because that's all anybody wants anymore. And that's cool. That's what I got. I think I want to do a round over, but I'm going to do a round over on it because I don't want water to catch on any of it. This is going to be for outside. I want to just roll off, and I don't want splinters because, you know, sometimes people go outside in some skin. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of woods out here. If you put on your peppermint, you can go out there and skinny bathe. Well, you won't get no sun in my yard because I got too many trees, but you get what I'm saying. Magic. Back over here. With some light. To do. I gotta find these things like exactly where they're supposed to be. Can we cue the grumpy old man, Charlie? Can we get a grumpy old man in here real quick? Sir, could you please get grumpy, sir? We're gonna need a grumpy old man for this scene for sure. Oh snap, got it on the first try. Second try. Número 3. Let's lock it down. Shizzle dizzle. We're falling in the hole. That is a finger gymnastic move right there. That is operation. Well, that can happen too. All right, so now let's get our height adjusted. It should be good rock there, just below the surface. And lock that in. Good to go. Turn this thing on a little lightweight to make sure all the screws are tight, but not too tight. All right, back to the plumbing box with you. Take your goddamn friend. All right. Be back over here. So, So we're going to just run these this way. Load them down. And we're just going to line that up with the little roller dealie. And this hole's pretty good. Pretty good. That might not be enough clear. Just spin more screw. Let's see where we at. Oh no, I need to come up a little bit higher. A little bit higher. And then, and which way we going? The feed that way. Okay. And send the cord over. Plug in. Check real quick next. Sometimes I'll leave this hot because I put both of them on the same circuit for a second. Okay. All right, now I don't have my dust collection. I'm putting a ceiling up, and I've got some of it. Whew. Whew. Phew. Back. Let's get this out of the way. See if we can get a decent cut. Sometimes you gotta keep this thing plugged in. All right. Let's give it a little quick. Oh no, I'm not doing that with this thing. My bad, y'all. My bad, y'all. All right, where's it at? I usually have this connected and already live. Here we go. Because that's giving me more of a peak than a round over. I don't want a peak. I don't want a blade at the top. And I don't want to have to go through and sand every one of these motor scooters. So that's going to mean I need to move my leg, or I need to move my router down a little bit, maybe. Let me try moving that down a little bit. Maybe get less aggression. That might have been it right there. Let's try the other side and we'll see what it does. Here's the thing. I kind of need that, but I need that gone. This will be super splintery. So this may end up being the best way to go, and then going over top of that again with something, which would suck though. Like, that would suck. However, we should be able to find some way in between. Keep micro adjusting our height. See if we can get where we want to be. All right. What we're gonna do, all we gotta do is get one board right, and then the rest of them will fall in line. table. Now, one thing I did not anticipate was how splintery, I mean, I know how splintery pressure treated this board is, but I didn't realize how that would be affected when it's going through that bit. Sometimes it would just split open up and jam a piece in there and want to grab it, which doesn't traditionally happen with any other type of wood. Hope I brought leftovers. I had Texas Roadhouse. That's good eating. Chicken livers, mashed potatoes, and green beans, pecan pie for dessert. Robert G, you're speaking my language. Pecan pie with Cool Whip. What are you doing, Ruiz? Not the Cool Whip on the pecan pie. You gotta heat the pecan pie up, depending on where you're from. Now, you can say pecan. Maybe Cool Whip is for pecan pie, and pecan is heated up in the oven just a little bit, have it warm. Maybe with a little dollop of ice cream. But anyways, so this is all done. We got some stock cut over here now. We got some roundovers on all of this fence board. So now it's going to be a suitable, seatable thing. And now I'm going to rip them all in half. Let me figure out what half is on these. And then we're going to start building this thing, cutting our pieces. The build should go pretty quick once we get the stock put together. Say something better, I'll wait, Wes. Warm with ice cream, man. 12-ounce ribeye, medium, well drenched in jalapenos and a house salad, extra ranch, sweet potato with extra marshmallows. Listen, I got nothing for that. I got no rebuttal. That's a good time. That's a good time. Now, what we got over here? We're going to switch our power to that table. And we're going to bring this table over to support as an outfeed. We don't need him anymore. We're done with you. Get out! Get out of my workshop! Hurry! If you want to leave. She's not just a name. She's very special to me. You plugged in, maybe over here, maybe over here is where I'll plug you in. Maybe over here with a laptop, you can generate more home. Am I a ham guy or a turkey guy on Thanksgiving? Drew, I'm both. What are you talking about? You bring me a Thanksgiving plate with one or the other, I'm gonna be like, what are we doing? What is happening? Are we being respectful of someone else's religious practices or something? Because if there is ham available and there is turkey available, why would you force a decision? such a glorious day. Whew. Sorry, man. Kind of triggered me there a little bit. I'll see your ribeye and raise you green chile chicken enchiladas, rice, beans, 2 tamales, and horchata. I discovered horchata in LA, and oh my God. Oh, good times, good times. It was so good, I almost got an accent. I don't lie to you. It's so good. Don't mind. I can usually eyeball halfway. I can usually eyeball halfway, but I might be wrong. Let's try. That halfway, let's see. Flip it over. Missed it by a whole half a blade though. Alright, so when we make our adjustment to the exact middle of that, and that much range, that's how you get to the center of the thing. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and rip some of these. I wish I could get you a better perspective, G. Let's see what the battery's looking like up there. Maybe I can. That's the money shot right there. That's where the action is. Jackson, Captain. So let's see if we got a proof. Right, for what we got. Bam. Hit the button. Out of the way. You.
This is no. We can make a beautiful furniture, no? Put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I want to go 12 wide with these. And we're going to need to find 12 of them and have a nice round hole for that. And what we do, rule out the bad ones. Use those on the back. This way we get to look at the top of them and see which ones are going to give us stress. Honestly, this one was a little bit low. Must have been a narrower board. That's just a bow, but that's not my favorite either. So, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, man, am I gonna need them? I always use those big, cut those short, put those with those, do the back out of those. Yeah. So we need to get a consistent length out of these boards. So let's see what we want our back of the chair to be, what we want our seat of the chair to be. And for that, we will need tape measures. Tape measures. Okay. A total that we got to work with, generally speaking, these boards average just under 6 feet, somewhere around 69 inches. I know y'all can remember that number. Let's take it to 68 though, and that way we'll know we got some scrap we gotta cut off. So I don't need a chair to ever be 68 inches long. One that we built over here is a good example, I think 30 inches might be plenty for the seating over to the legs, and then we put the legs, we do that whole thing, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And then we'll figure out how we want the feet to go into the thing. Let me draw it real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. Picture pages, time to get your picture pages. Let's get your crayons and your pencils. Picture pages, fill your time with picture pages. Till we're gone, we lose another picture page for you. If you grew up in the 70s, I struck a nerve with you. The rest of y'all didn't even know Bill Cosby had a show. TJ! I haven't been around in a while. Hope you're doing good. I'm doing great, man. How are you? How are you? Sorry, y'all, for not getting all of your chats. I've been, you know, doing stuff. But TJ, we've been doing great, man. I hope you've been doing great. I'm gonna I'll cut 34 off of that. That will leave me roughly 34 back. So I'm gonna just do 34 twice. And then these are all gonna have to be the spacers. And these will be spacers as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a more narrow than I want it. I'm gonna live with it. If I can add to it, I might. That's gonna mean we gotta put our board back on over there. And where the frick did I put it? Oh, here when I was showing off my shop for my new friends. And I will show you, this is also a really simple jig here. These are just dowels. Push them down and I'm in place. There's 3 of them. And this doesn't move. It's perfect against my fence. And it lines both of these fences up with each other. So that also gives me good balance. All right. So let's get this thing set for 34 and let me get this camera over here so I don't have to carry you around like a good for nothing. I'm gonna go 34 from the blade. I'm gonna put the blade down. Pull. Well, we got it here, but the thing is tight at some time. Let's see if we were exact. Still good. Yeah, we can do that. 34 to right there. Oops. Tie our power in. That was the sound of my bench falling around the workbench. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and quickly get 34-inch pieces cut off of these. I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna go ahead and get all 5 of these done at the same dang time. Because why wouldn't we do that? Why wouldn't we want to? Why wouldn't we? Now, all we gotta do is all 10 of these together. Flip them this way. And now we can get all of these exactly the same. I'll get the square to sit tight. And that is how we get our cool little cheese cut. Here we go. Told you it goes faster once we got our stock. So now we got 10 of these, exactly the same length. And we go back to our assembly table. Mike is making things. Plywood, what's going on, man? I didn't see you sneak in. What you do? Break out? Plywood, as we all know, has a super swell channel too. Y'all should check out. Amongst what Mike is making stuff. Look, real quick. I'm gonna sit down for a second with you guys for a quick second. Take a short break and talk to you about a very serious thing going on in the community. Mike needs a few more followers, like a hand. Mike is making stuff. Please post your thing in the chat, or if somebody, if y'all can click it, click it. Mike is like dumb close to being monetized, and he should be. He's doing dope stuff over there. And he's got a great channel, and it's doing good. It's growing, and it's at a point right now where it's about to jump, and we want to get him over the top so it can. Even if I have to kill this mosquito to do it. So, you know, y'all take a chance to do that for me. Never enough clamps. Never, man. Who dies with the most clamps wins. That's exactly right, mister. That's exactly right. Ah, I got some sawdust in my eye. I wonder how. I wonder how. I got my good boots on today too, y'all. Like, I was doing estimates today because they played us on the rain and they didn't tell us what was going on. That's hilarious. Mike is making stuff. I'm sorry, Mike Osborne. I should have been more particular about that. But Mike is making stuff. He does a show tonight. I think he's going to be on doing some cool stuff. Just shooting the poop, I think is what he calls it. But yeah, Mike's a very clever guy. I enjoy him a lot when he comes around. He was just in here, so he might have dipped out. But it's called Mike is Making Stuff. 10 of y'all can probably put him over the top. But anyways, man, Wes, I got home late from Palmetto and we finished up some commercial chain link fence. Oh yeah, I haven't done very much chain link fence. Y'all have those little pullers that tighten it up and all that stuff? Well, I'd imagine so if you're doing commercial work. I think someone sent the super chat earlier, Wes. They did. Did I miss it? Oh man, let me go back and see. Dang, man, I'm so sorry. Whose super chat did I miss? I gotta acknowledge that. See if I can find it. Druiz, that was you, brother. That was you. Man, you are all right. Ruiz. Should I say Druiz or Ruiz? This guy be popping. 300 packs of binder clips from Amazon now for my laser cut wood cuts. Oh, that's fancy. I want to start a channel, but I don't know how to post videos. Mike, it's pretty easy, to be truthful. Just load it up in your phone. When you go into YouTube, you can hit a little button at the bottom, and it'll give you them options right there. But super cool stuff. But tons and tons of YouTube videos. Put it in the search bar. Tons of them. And the ones at the top usually are fairly simple, fairly clear and that kind of thing. It was an 8-foot high fence within barbed wire. Woo, it's been a hot, humid week. I know it has. Jeez. Barbed wire? What kind of chair am I making? Kind of a lounge chair. I can post. I can't seem to edit. Plywood, that's the thing about YouTube. They have edit options available in the shorts, which is why I have mostly all shorts. But you have to edit your videos in another system and then dump them in, because when you go into the long form video, you just have to drop the video and the whole thing right there. Drew says, $2. If I could have one wish, what would it be? Oh man, that's a deep question. That is a deep question. I would wish for things to run their course as they have been so far. He says, mine is immortality. That sounds like a gift and a curse, and depending on what your spiritual background is, you know, almost all religions believe in immortality. They just don't believe in it in a physical form, I think, maybe the thing. But some of them give you virgins and stuff. What is your favorite wood to work with? I don't have one yet. I'm not nearly a good enough woodworker to call. I haven't worked with enough to give you a good example. I work with pine a lot. As you can see right now, I'm working with pressure treated pine. So I guess I'd say pine because I built a lot of houses with it. Mine is immortality. What would you do with immortality, though? I always like watch those vampire movies and stuff, right? With my wife. And then the dude is like 800 years old. And they're like only attracted to like 19-year-old girls, which blows my mind. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I don't understand how somebody over a healthy 200-year-old could even tolerate conversation with anybody under 80. I'd be like, man, shut up, kid. Mr. says, I was on AliExpress last night and there was a 2-inch mallet, all titanium, rainbow anodized patterns, keychain, lanyard, about $25. That's wild. Made that bad boy for free ski. Whatever time. A healthy 200-year-old. I just mean a vampire too. Like if you're immortality, like wouldn't that be terrible if you wished for immortality, right? But like you didn't get it on a cellular level. Like you're just breaking down forever, like just getting weaker and weaker for all of eternity. Fix the economy and make living affordable. That's cheap. I get that. I get that. Sinners was weak. Wes, what you think? I got controversial opinions about that movie in my community. Whereas I recognize it as a great film, there's things like I liken certain movies to like Kung Fu, right? Like they're killing, right, in Kung Fu, like in the Kung Fu movies. And I don't necessarily condone that part, but I enjoy the theatrics of how they go about the task of the Kung Fu murders. You know what I'm saying? So Sinners was kind of like that to me. Theatrically, I thought it was a good movie. I thought the actors were good. The message of it was a little bit, it was a little aggressive for my liking, for my personal tolerances. But like I've learned that if I go into, like with everything, really, everything. There's always something about it you cannot like, right? And there are infinite things out there for you to not like. And there are infinite things out there for you to like. And when I see somebody making a real effort towards something and there's something in it that I like, I'm all in on just the thing that I like. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always improvements that can be made and people do that naturally. That's just part of life. But yeah, I liked it. I'll just say that I liked it. I liked it. It wasn't an all-time classic favorite for me, but I liked it. I do like Michael B. Jordan. Um, and I like a lot of the actors and actresses in that thing. I don't personally think that vampires are immortal. I think they have a lifespan of 1,000 years, give or take 200. Okay, it's a reasonable argument to make. So, uh-oh. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Phone's trying to croak out on me, and I won't allow it. I won't allow it. All right. Plug this on here. And plug this in here. That should be better. I will say my favorite Dracula movie was, I guess I would say, you know that origin one? What's the name of it? Where they referenced him more as Vlad the Impaler. Druise, put me on again. Your background noise is making me concentrate. What's 420? So you should do the music labels, right, is what I got from Sinners West. Right. Mortality is how infinite individuals can all get their turn so long as their habitat thrives. Interesting. Bram Stoker's Dracula was fan-freaking-tastic. Yeah, you are what you eat. Oh, man. I saw a recent interview with a vampire kind of movie. That's a series, I think, now that my wife was watching. I'm going to preface this with 2 of my children out of the 5 are in the LBGT community. But I can't watch men kiss a whole lot. And I don't know why, but I see it and I be like, it cringes me a little bit. And maybe just leftover stuff from my upbringing. But there was so much of that in that new one that it was like Oz. You remember Oz? I don't know if y'all ever watched Oz. Well, it was like a prison thing like on HBO, and it was good. It was good drama, but there was a lot of dude on dude action in that, and it was hard for me to watch all the way through. I like the fact, Wes, on the Dracula that he renounced God and that there was only the only reason he became Dracula, a pure form of evil like crazy, is what it would take to give a damned but a God, right? Yeah, that was cool. I mean, I think the plot on that one was so much better than we get in a lot of the remakes. And it was a thought out movie. It was an intentionally dark and sinister version. but it was scary. It was scary. I wasn't always scared of Dracula movies, but that one was scary to me. Like the pain and the loss of his wife is so relatable. Oh yeah. Like I think all of us, like, that's a weird thing for men, right? All you have to do is imagine your family in trouble, and then seeing how he had to deal with them just gone, just obliterated. Like you give me a sword and the ability to kill my family and make me invincible. it's gonna be on for 1,000 years for sure. It's gonna be on for 1,000 years. That whole thousand, I'm gonna be hell on earth. So yeah, I get it. I definitely get that, Julius. On my second divorce, I was almost that dude. The one time you actually asked for help, no happen. Right. I can't sit through a 2-hour movie, but I can sit through a 3-hour live stream. Yeah, that's kind of true. I can do that too. I fall asleep in movies all the time now. I don't know. Maybe it's just me being an old guy. Or adult ADHD. So that if I'm over there, I'm wide awake and lively all night. And if I'm sitting comfortably with my feet up in a dark room with air conditioning, yeah, I might be gone. Mike is back. Mike. Favorite movie of all time, Wes? Mine is Goodfellas or The Way of the Gun. Mine is hands down Tombstone. Tombstone with Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer, Billy Bob Thornton. Oh my God, it had the best lines in that movie. The Way of the Gun. I'm trying to remember if I saw that. I probably did. Was that a 70s film? The Billy Bob Thornton scene was funny. Yeah. Like that was the first time. I think that's like the first pistol whipping in cinema. Like it was crazy. Me and my brothers will recite that movie anywhere. I'm your Huckleberry. Definitely. Unforgiven was good too. Oh my God, that was good writing in Unforgiven, mister. Props on that one. That's Mike says I'm going with the Hateful Eight. Oh, that's so good dialogue too. Oh yeah. That was so good. Hateful. Oh yeah. Yeah. What was that? Yeah. I like that guy when that big guy. And he said, oh my God, I think that bear was wearing people's clothes. Or I can say this, my wife is a movie, might pick that one. Magnificent Seven. Yeah, that's what it was. With Denzel. That was good too. Man, it's been a lot of good movies. Basically, all I need is good dialogue and some gun violence, and I'm thrilled to be in the theater watching it. You're not sure you saw The Hateful Eight? You should see it. If you haven't, if you saw it, you definitely remember. You should definitely check that out. What film was the regulators mount up line from? That was when the Estevez brothers were in Young Guns. That was a good movie. Yeah, he said that bear was wearing human clothes. That was an awesome movie too. I love Denzel. He always does good. He does. He makes movies good though. He was in a couple of them that weren't great, but he made them. He made them good. Yeah, my wife is a waitress in Hell of High Water. I don't think I seen that one, Mike. My wife is the Selma Hayek in Quentin Tarantino's Dusk Till Dawn. In my mind, anyway. Training Day for me. Favorite Denzel movie? Whew. Mo Better Blues. Mo Better Blues, for sure. I liked that whole plot. It was a Spike Lee movie. My brother actually worked with Spike Lee for a bunch of years. Then Warren G blew that line up. Yeah, I kind of hated that. I certain things I don't want rap to take. Certain things I want rap to leave alone. I would rather that line have been just for that movie. You know what I mean? I mean, it is what it is. I can't hate. I stop hating Wes. It had Jeff Bridges and Chris Pine. No, I didn't see that one. Mister, we only got steak and green beans. We ain't got no salmon. Crooklyn was good. I didn't see Crooklyn. I've done set work and backstage work on a great deal of movies and TV shows. I've got a TV show to do some work on next week. Andrew, that's awesome. That's kind of a dream job of mine, really. Like, I remember when I was 7th grade, they took us on a movie set. And, well, not a movie set, but it was like a commercial studio. So they were like building fake kitchens and stuff. And they were beautiful, like from one side. And they were filming it. And I thought, oh, I'd love to do that. And I never did it. Still might. Spike just made a new one with Denzel, ASAP Rocky called From the Highest to the Lowest. I have to check that out. What you don't want, the corn or the green beans. I don't know what that means. I do it as subcontractor work. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I bet you get on some really creative stuff, figure out some stuff. I want to get into like body suits and the whole nine. I'm interested in everything. You know, I ended up working there for 25 years. Where's that, Emmy? I missed it. Where'd you end up working for 25 years? It's from the movie Hell or High Water. Oh, the studio. Nice. Was it fun? Did you like it? I never did any film or studio work. I've done stuff for artists, like displays and things like that. It was amazing. Oh, that's awesome. That sounds like dream job come true. And then to say it was amazing, I love that. I worked with sound and light for concerts when I was young. It can be hard work. 2 guys I used to work with are world tours with bands. Sucks for the family life. Yes, that's true. Left when I adopted the girls. Well, you went from amazing to more amazing then. That sounds fantastic. Emily's got some beautiful kids. She's such a wonderful mother. Grew up with her. I worked on a cinema attraction in Vegas. I think, like all things, it gets old after a while. I got ADHD, so I get bored easy. Mike, I'm with you on that. The way I keep from getting bored when I'm doing a job, particularly if I'm doing it, is I don't force myself to be, what's the word I'm looking for? See how memory goes? That's just soda, by the way. I kind of force myself to focus on it in such a way that I want it to be the best thing that I ever did. in that thing, even if it's just soldering pipe before I turn the plumbing back on. If I'm doing it all day, I go, this one's gonna be the best solder that I ever did. And then that'll make me dial in on it. And then I'll get better, and then it'll get, anyway. Hey, Wes, you grown, sir. If you thirsty, do you? Yeah, yeah, but you know, I don't ever want anybody to think that it makes any sense at all to be in a workshop with power tools, because I'm going back to building and drinking anything that might impair your capacity to cut a straight line or keep all your fingerlings. The last one I worked on was at the MGM Grand. They called it the Star Trek Experience, which was cool because it was fat dough, and I met the cast of Next Generation to know them. That's cool. What's wild is my father met celebrities his whole career because he worked in the only important building in our town. And I have a lot of friends who are in the music business. And so I meet a lot, probably more than average, celebrity artists, musicians and stuff. But really, I should not be an actor. I am terribly shy. I am terribly bad. If 3 of y'all were in here right now, sitting in the same room as me, it'd be weird. We'd all be awkwardly looking at expecting me to entertain. It'd be weird. It'd be weird. I'm on the twisted fee and concentrating hard at the moment. Wink, wink, 420. Oh, I feel you, Ruiz. But I'm a vet with 4 departments and seen some shit with PTSD. And hey, enough about me. What is your favorite color? Now listen, my uncle, who is the tough, like, you know, when you're a kid, especially when you're a boy, you've got other men that you look at and you decide what kind of man you need to be or you want to aim at, you know. And I had an uncle who had went to Vietnam. He's a Green Beret, 5'2", 140 pounds. Toughest motor scooter you ever gonna meet. And this dude had so many war stories. And like he drinking and they just start coming out. My grandmother, my father, like, oh, get out of here, shit. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. And my uncle would never get to finish his stories. So I'm about 14, 15 years old. And he goes on the back porch and I go out there and he's lighting up a Camel, a Marlboro. And I say, you want to finish your story? And he told me the most awful war stories. But I felt like he needed to get it out. And some kind of way we got kind of close beyond it, just because it's not a lot of people that are even going to be able to relate to it. And I couldn't relate to it, but I could nod my head and let him help out. Get it out. God bless the USA. Shout out to the Special Forces motor scooters. Mister, you play the piano. I guess that's a question. Or know someone? All right, let me go over here. Start figuring out this bills. Kinda, I love me some piano. Sorry, Wes, I was talking about Special Forces. Lightly, Wes. Oh, man. Listen. safe space in the workshop. Safe space in the workshop. Talk about what's on your mind, Brody. Whatever's on your mind, Brody. So look, we ended up with 10 for our base and our seat. I think that's plenty long. And then we'll do the same thing with these. So essentially, that's going to kind of be what we're after, right? Something like that. So let's get some more of these cut. All over there, like this dude is doing stock work. You over here getting your doggone stock together. You're not building stuff. Wes does it. You fraud. Please give me a chance. All right, here we go. And this is why it's so good to have a stop. And this is also why I prefer doing these cuts over here instead of on the table saw on a big giant sled where I gotta push all that stuff around. Man, this stuff really sticks to itself. So we're gonna line all of these up. Hit them one time. And so now all of these are at their final dimension. We got a good clean cut to start with. To get this grouping to its final dimension. And we can use these scraps as spacers should we need them. Now we got a bunch of the same stuff. If we got 10, we're gonna need at least 20 total. Maybe I don't want to be back there. 20. Measurement for these pieces. 46. So if we go 4-inch pieces, we ought to be able to get everything we need. So we're going to do a stop block again. On this time, we're going to do it on this side. I'm going to set it here at 4 inches, and then we'll just chop and get all those out. Let's find a little block we can use for that though. This ought to serve us. Let's see if that's going to clear. Not. Thick enough. Hold on. Just need another scrap. down. That's good. Oh. And now, all of our clothes can happen like shell. Another thing you could do. Cut it in half. And then do that. Now we get 4 at a time. Every single one of those is going through Workbench. One more on that side here. Yo, Drees, what was my dream job growing up west? Had a couple. One of my dream jobs was stuntman, right? I was an unusually athletic kid, and weirdly, my family has dense bones. Nobody in my family ever breaks a bone. So I was kind of a tough kid by default, and I idolized like Jackie Chan because I was like, holy crap, firefighter after the movie Backdraft. Oh man, firefighter. Actually, what's wild is when I turned 40, I went to apply to the Atlanta Fire Department because it was on my bucket list of dream jobs. It was something I really wanted to do. And I thought I'd be good at it. I was like, oh, I'm nimble now. I know all about houses. I can get in and out, show everybody, all this stuff. And a friend of mine who's actually a fire chief now was telling me about the job. And she's on the EMT side of things, and she witnesses so much trauma so very often. I don't have the heart to do the job. No way. I don't have the heart to do the job. Newbie just called me and took the tip of his finger right off with the joiner. Oh no, that sounds awful. When I took the tip off of this thing with one of those Chicago Harbor Freight table saws, I will add, Mike, the fences on those things are so terrible. Oh, right, and don't use too many times, spread them far apart. Yep. Who Am I was GOAT. Yes, that dude is tough for real, for real. Hold on, amputee calling. Oh man, that's awful. When I was a little kid, I watched my dad come limping in the house, pissed. And we're looking at him and I'm like, what's wrong? What happened? He was like, the neighbor's dog had run up the hill into our yard while my dad was cutting grass on the hill with the mower. And the dog bit my dad, making him slide the mower forward, slide under it, clipped his toes. My dad then grabs the mower and hits the dog, breaks the dog's leg, and it hops back down the little hill to its house. It's my neighbor's, my best friend actually, his parents' dog. Big old German Shepherd. And he comes in the house with a toe and a half less. Didn't even want to go to the hospital. I don't even know if he did. And the neighbor tried to sue us because they had to put the dog down. Man, them Chihuahuas hated me in my neighborhood, West, and they always was the most vicious but the smallest crazy world we live in. That's exact. I had a Min Pin, Doberman Pinscher, but they're not really Dobermans. What they are is a Manchester mixed with Chihuahua, and you put those two together, you get something that looks exactly like a tiny Doberman. And I had one, and they have no idea that they're a small dog. They've got no idea. It's like those dogs are like this much brains, this much balls. I had one named Tinka. I got her from somebody, she already had the name, right? But she wore a little pink spiked collar. And I could tell that dog, get him, Tinka, get him, get him! In an empty room. She'd run to every fucking corner in that room and go crazy, just in case, like this is the corner you're talking about. You're gonna get it corner. It was crazy, they're insane. Anybody that ever saw me with that dog was like, oh, that's you. That's exactly, that tracks. So anyways, we're gonna do this part, which is going to be, we're gonna get our kind of a little tilt out of this thing, right? Or should we do some higher legs? Maybe we'll do some higher legs. We'll do some higher legs. But once we do the higher legs, we'll space these out forward. So let's build that first. Let's go ahead and get the bottom part established. Then we'll get the top, the back seat established. And we'll establish the legs third. And for now, we'll take our fence off. Drop our blade down. And now we just got more assembly table space, because that's how we'll do it. All right, so I'll back that up a little way out. Yeah, pits are loyal. Pits. Let me see what y'all say in the chat. My best breed was them pits, man. Very loyal. I had an all-white, red-nosed, guess his name. Steve Irwin, the croc hunter. I know Steve Irwin. Yeesh. Bro, West, you missing out on the vibe, dog. I can't be missing out on the vibe, man. I thought I was the vibe. Listen, if I'm gonna be the vibe, I should be the vibe with you. So, Here's what I'll do. I'm gonna vibe with y'all. And then I'll build that in the morning and I'll film it. And I'll do a video of it. Then that way, if anybody wants to watch this, they can do that. And if anybody wants to do this, they can do that. Two things can happen. So, I am very naturally afraid of dogs. I don't know why. I have been attacked a couple of times. I've never been harmed. I was a repair guy for a roofing company at one point, a subcontractor. And I went to the don't worry about the thing, don't worry about a thing, finish the lyric, Wes. I don't know. I don't know. It sounds snoopish. I don't know. You gotta clue me in on that one. I'm missing it. Cause every little thing is gonna be all right. I should have known. Somebody tapped out. Bob Marley, for sure. Listen, my daughter, Ace May, you have to put it in your browser, has a beautiful Bob Marley inspired song out right now. It's great. But she's a great musician. Like I said, I'm around a lot of really talented people. I'm very fortunate in that regard. Because I'm probably an underachiever in my group of friends. I got 2 or 3 of them that actually made it to celebrity. How many kids do I have? I have 5. I have 3 that, came from me directly, and I have 2, my wife has 2 girls. I sound like you blessed to be a dad, for real, for real. By the way, you a good dad, okay, bro? Oh, I appreciate that, man. I got good kids. Oh, in case I ain't heard it. I have heard it. I'm fortunate to... Listen, here's the thing about my kids started out fantastic from the start. Like, they were sweet and cute and cuddly, snuggly little babies. They cried like other, all babies and stuff. But really, I was just trying not to mess them up. I think we became friends a while back, bro. I think we had enough of this conversation to be that. But yeah, my kids, I'm fortunate. It's a lot of them, right? Just being good kids, and me just kind of staying out of the way and not messing it up. But I'm relatively close to them. What's going on, growing me? It took some effort though to get to know my stepdaughters, because they were preteens when I met them. You know what I mean? And I was a 40-year-old man. Like, what do we have in common to talk about? You know what I mean? I got one little girl and a man. She be running me in the ground, West. That is their job, man. That's what they do. That's what they do. If boss status, she a princess. Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. See, that's the thing about them, right? The princesses only happen with the good parenting. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you just get some B words. Plenty of them out there. You see it, young, like the little boys that are also B words sometimes. I am like Alfred to Batman. I get that, brother. Protect and serve. Just pull up the car when you need it. Throw the guns in the trunk. For sure. For sure. Protect and serve. Yeah. Yeah. And exposure. You know what I mean? Just get them exposure to as much stuff as you can, so they can pick their thing. A lot of kids don't find their thing because they didn't get exposure enough, and like, oh, I didn't know about this till I was an adult. You know what I mean? I be telling her, Wes, I don't care if you meet a doctor, baby girl. He ain't shit. Listen, true story. I'm in Florida, and I'm working on a house. I occasionally I go down there as an investor that would buy property on the beach. I go down there and I spend my whole summer just remodeling that house. And I was single at the time, so I brought some girl with me that I was dating. And I said, I was, ranting one night to him. I was like, she's a pain in that. She's just being a pain in that. And he said to me, Wes, I don't know if you know this, but sometimes you're a pain in the ass too. So, and you don't know it either. So you have to get the grace that you get and give that same grace back out. You know what I mean? Pass the Dolce on the left hand side. Yo, wow. Can you tell I am bro? I can tell you are hilarious. Grace for sure. Grace for sure. I've had you get a lot of opportunity for sorry for what? We good? What are we talking about? I am social West. I am barely. Barely. But I'm getting better at it. Getting better at it. I've got a tendency to distrust initial engagements. That's why I get cats, right? Because cats are skeptical as hell for a while. And then they come check you out, make sure you don't do nothing crazy, and then you dip back out. And then they come back, check you out, see if you're cool. Bro, is the earth flat or what, Wes? For real, for real. Listen. If I had everybody without a telescope or a spaceship is guessing. And trusting the person with the telescope or the spaceship. And with all things you have not learned to do or to prove personally, then what you have to accept is how you feel about who's saying what. And there's enough argument by enough people that I think are intelligent to say that I would guess that the earth was probably a little bit pear-shaped, but closer to round. But interestingly, I did not realize this, and I learned this the other day, that the oceans and the tides are kind of a result of that gravitational pull of the moon and it's just pulling at the whole band of the ocean like outward because of the centrifugal force and then the moon and the gravitational pull. And I didn't realize that the spinning affects water differently than the spinning affects the land. And that makes sense. And I was like, oh yeah, we always kind of think of the ocean as a still thing, but the earth is spinning, the ocean is moving as a result of that. Because the sun orbiting right west, like obviously no way it could be flat, dude. That would be weird. Like you know, that's like one of those arguments like that old buddy was doing the other day about the math. He was making some theoretical argument about a real thing that's easily provable. And it was just a matter of language. But he was saying stupid things like, how we believe in math is all wrong. And it's like, yeah, you don't, yeah. But dude is super smart. He just don't know anything. He don't fully understand his idea that he started talking about so soon. That was the problem. Sometimes we talk before we really get something. Yep, you have to decide to make a decision on who to fall in with, flat or round or so much larger around. What they say that our area is flat, basically. The good book says the entire earth is stationary. I think it's important to understand that we can't live on this earth and how unique that makes you. The good book says the earth is stationary. Well, intellect is not knowing it all, but never knowing nothing. Food for thought. Language means a great deal. Look at the law. Words matter to the definition and meaning. See, here's the problem with some of it. You can't really legislate righteousness and goodness, right? And if you try to, you never run out of stuff to write in because everybody's unique. Everybody has different ideas, and eventually somebody does something different, and then you have to write that in as an exception and something else, you know. And that's just how it ends up being. If you're, that's why large communities need law. Smaller communities like households and things like that, neighborhoods, have understandings that are expressed throughout the area, throughout the upbringing, throughout the community, that you don't do this, you don't talk to her that way, you don't do this, you know what I'm saying? Martial law. What kind of knife you got, my friend? This is my little Kershaw. I'm trying to get used to it. I'm fidgety. This knife is not particularly fidgety, but it does feel good. And I'm just getting used to it because it's the one my work knife basically now. So, you know, the more you get comfortable with it, the less likely you are to drop it and such. So, I'm always fidgeting. That's right, either you are or you're not. Love your spring on it. I do like the spring on it. It does keep it from, it's a decent little bit of pressure to put it back in from that point right there, but that's why I'm kind of doing this, to get my muscle memory used to where to put that pressure. Because I don't like to have to use my pants to close it. I just want to be able to do it with one hand. A lot of times I'm working over my head. I got to get, you know what I'm saying? And then I got to be able to put it back too. What do I use to sharpen it? That's interesting. What I've understood about the metal on this blade is it's supposed to be kind of hard, but also hard to sharpen, like medium hard, not hard, but tough to sharpen once it's dull. So I intentionally dulled it, and I sharpened it. See, it's got this little curve in it, so I can't use my whetstones the same way on this. But this, right here on the back, which is for, those serrated blades, right, to work into the circles of that. This does that wonderfully. It's perfect for it. And I don't know if people are going to like that I use this thing this way or that I use it at all for this, but it got this knife really sharp, really fast. Crocodile Dundee said that's not a knife. Andrew, listen. Knife snobs are definitely welcome here because I got the cheapos. All of my knives are cheapos, every single one of them. And so I know that it sometimes makes other people uncomfortable, but I want you to be okay with expressing knife preferences in this space. Arizona soapstones or some creek or lake stones, sandwich style. Try it, bro. Oh, where like you pinch them together and pull the blade through? I kind of like the whetstone approach, and this was surprisingly good. Like, this is really fine right here. Whatever this is, it's really fine. But it did good. This part right here, not so much. These I don't like. This I love, because I can control this better than I can control these. These bevels are permanent. Like, whatever your knife is, it's going to try to do that. But this, you get to work the blade that's already there. So that's what I prefer. Oh man, I got $28 in the dresser, and I got 27 likes in this thing. I appreciate y'all. All 7 of you deciding to hang out with me. If you missed the first half of the furniture build, we are going to continue that tomorrow. I'm gonna have it on my feed, I guess, and I'll do a shorts version of it. I'll do it in like a time lapse, and then you'll be able to see how I put all of this together. And it's gonna be a fairly unique piece, but not really. You know what I mean? I've never made one of these before, and I'm interested to see how it's going to turn out, but I think it's going to be cool. Hey, bro, did you draw that character in the big question? I need the deets. This guy right here, I did that painting live, and then I also did a short of me doing it. And I did that one, and I did a short doing that. That's a light. I plug that in, and it'll glow. And then, I used to do some graffiti in my younger years. And there's artwork all around here, but I'll show you my favorite. I gotta frame this and put it in glass. But my brother sent me that print of some of his work. He is fuse green extraordinaire. He's dope. That's me right there on my little on my big wheel. I'm like 3 years old right there. So that's the dude I'm trying to keep happy. That grin on my face on that picture. I need to keep that grin on my face. Yeah, Fuse is incredible artist, an incredible artist. This back here, the Love Hate Fists, that's from Spike Lee's film Do the Right Thing. My brother did all the merch for that after. Um, I've got tons of Spike Lee, 40 Acres and a Mule clothing line stuff. Great artwork, Wes, says Andrew. Thank you, sir. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and pepper and heavy D up in the limousine. Mr. Magic Molly Mall. Let my tape rock till my tape pop. Bro, can you get a close up of my art, my friend? For sure. Alright, first I'm gonna start over here because that's just what's close. That's just my little copyright infringement that I put together. That's my old graph name right there. I'll flip it. And that right there, a little quickie caricature I did of myself on another live, I think. I did not do that. I ordered that. My wife did, actually. And this right here is the Fuse piece, which is dope. You can zoom in on this thing. It's so much cool stuff going on. Little peace and love. Dude is just crazy clever. It's just all this little Easter eggs in the work. A little Fela Cuddy. A little Slick Rick. Here's a little something that needs to be heard. So I was going downtown. Well, she worked. Show all along. I want to be with. Stepped on the D train. It's 205th. I saw a pretty girl. So I sat beside her. Then she went, rawr. She was Tony the Tiger. All right. And then boom. That's it. All right, what you say? Like the little crook, how much for the South Park guy? No, I don't. No, I'm not selling anything. I don't think I have sold art. It's such a weird thing. But, you know. You know what? I give it to you, though. Send your address to westdoesit@gmail.com and I will send it to you. I'll give away stuff. I'll give away artwork, but I won't sell it. What up, Jordan? What up, cuz? Gen 2, man. We in here chopping it up like a couple of OGs. What you into tonight? Is it night where you're at? Is the question. Any recent projects? Yes. We were building a outdoor lounge chair, and then we opted to have some dialogue. But I am going to go ahead and continue to build in the morning. And what I'll do is by the end of the day, I have a video up and I have the full build up. And then you can see it. And it'll be more organized without my banter throughout. Yes, sir, and my house is a home, LOL. That's what's up. A house is not a home unless there's someone there to turn the key. Dang. Did they cut me off because I was singing Luther? Maybe. Recent projects in terms of work, I did sell a bathroom today, a renovation. So it's going to be it's going to be a green bathroom. So she wants green and sage to be the prominent colors. So it's going to be interesting in the tile choices and mixing it up with a couple to keep it interesting without it getting too busy or too dark in that space. So we're going to add some lights and all kinds of stuff. I think it'll be cute. Banter is the best part, said Sick Pain Poppy. Sin Pain Poppy. Oh, well, that's what's up. Banter is the best part. Sound like some 70s vibes. Definitely, definitely. Chopping it up with the broskies. You know what I mean? I'm seeing what's up with y'all. What you been up to all day is the question. Come around here. Yeah, I can't stand for that chair to be just over there on the floor like I was not raised properly. Yeah, but it's super chill over here right now. We're cooling. Yeah, but the outdoors lounge chair idea is just, I built some cuboids out there and they have storage in them and they just kind of turned into that. And then one of them turned into kind of a table sort of thing is what we use it for. And the other is just a random seat with some storage that we also use it for. But that leaves us without kickback seats, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna build a little kickback seat because we don't get any sun. We get sun, we get a ton of shade in the woods where I'm at. So it's nice out when it's hot out everywhere else because we're in the shade. A little breeze blow through is cool. So I want to make sure we got something to appreciate that vibe, you know what I mean? I've been distrusting some flies and cleaning up tool handles myself. Okay. Oh, de-rusting some files is what you said. Look at me over here being dyslexic. Sounds like it's the perfect excuse to make some relaxing chairs. Yeah. I'm also gonna make some bird houses, and I want to try to attract some what do you call them? Hummingbirds. So I'm definitely going to do some of those builds. I don't know if I'm going to film it because I think they're kind of corny. I'm doing it because I want to have more birds there. Like, so that when we're looking out, we get plenty, but I think it'd be nice. We got kind of this overhead trellis thing with no vines on it, thank goodness, and we can hang good stuff from it. And this mosquito just flew by my face. How disrespectful. Sent the email, dog. That's what's going on. Thank you, man. No problem. I got you. Sounds like, oh, you a real one. Well, in the words of the Soggy Bottom Boys, I am just a man. I think you still make a little video on it. Up to you, though. Everything gotta be a vid. Not everything gotta be a vid. Oh, I want to kill this thing immediately, but first, I'm gonna get some protection on me. Where is it? Oh man, I don't see my mosquito proofer. Dang it. They love me. That thing will be on me in like 3 seconds. That's right. Constant sorrow. Something, something home. You would be singing this live if you was here. I know you would be. I know you would be. Listen, mine and my GPA's favorite movie actually based on Homer's The Odyssey. Oh yeah? You and your GPA's favorite movie is based on I don't even know that one. Yeah, I Grandpa's. See, I told you I'm dyslexic. It's like dyslexia, except I can see the letters. I'm just dumb. So it's not like dyslexia. They have an actual disease. Oh, brother, where art thou? That's a good movie. Good movie. That was one of my favorites. Dude is hilarious, John Candy. That's not Candy. What's his name? What's Roseanne's fake husband's name? He was hilarious in that. It was hilarious. John Goodman. John Goodman's been in some good stuff. Seen Secondhand Lions? No, never seen that. Thank you for the likes. I think I just got another. But I'm gonna get up out because I think my eyes are getting heavy. And I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Ruiz, thanks for your contributions to the channel in both chat and otherwise. Simpane Poppy, I always appreciate you showing up. Andrew, always a good guy to have in the chat. Houston, I appreciate you. And that's funny. I just saw your comment just to save some talent for the rest of us. Y'all got all the talent that y'all got the time to adjust. You know what I'm saying? All right, we're gonna holler at y'all. Be safe, be good, be nice. West does it. Peace.